morning, everyone, and welcome back to another fireside chat without the fire, Kathleen, during International Fraud Awareness Week. And we're delighted to be joined by Kathleen Shanagher here this morning. Kathleen is no stranger to many of you, we're sure of. She's well known all around Roscommon for her tidy town efforts, we'll say, yes. And also recently standing down from Roscommon County Council, one of our very good councillors that we had down through the years, representing us all. And definitely I can say I've seen you in action, and she was a very hard-working councillor for us all. So we're delighted, Kathleen, that you come in to chat us today. And I suppose in the context of fraud awareness, you're out in the community, you've been talking to people, you've been hearing the issues that people have had for many years. Like you were in the council chamber for how many years?
10 years, Bernie,
10 years, wow.
10 years, and I must say I enjoyed, and thank you for your nice compliments. I enjoyed my 10 years, but after 10 years I just decided to step back, and sure, who knows what the future holds. But as you said, I'm very involved in the community and the Tidy Towns for the past 26 years.
Wow. And
I'm in the Lions Club, the sports partnership. I've a lot of hats. I wear a lot of hats, but look, it's all been part of the community, and that's why I'm here today. Because when you're out and about, you meet people, and you hear people talking about scenarios and how they've been caught out, and maybe not been caught out because they knew what to do. They stopped in time, but unfortunately, people have been conned out of their money. So it's great to have the credit union advising people as to how they can prevent this happening.
Well, I suppose we will try and give some advice, but we're also going to, you'll have heard interviews from experts as well on the area. But I suppose, Kathleen, from your perspective, being out in the community and hearing, can you tell us about maybe one or two of the scenarios to start off with that you are aware of, or that where people might have lost money or did lose money, if that was the case?
Yeah, well, even if I start with going back to the Tidy Towns, and a simple thing even, and it's not even money, but it costs money at the end of the day to clean up, is this flyer that comes in the door for clothes. So you'd get the flyer, will come in your door, and it's for some groups, but the majority unfortunately were fraud, because they are not registered to a charity. So when the flyer comes in the door to say we'll collect any clothes that you have, unwanted toys, unwanted pieces of furniture, whatever, and we'll remove them. What happens is people see this as a great way to clear out their house.
Kathleen, I'm going to stop you for a second. When you start talking about leaflets, I thought you were going to encourage us now not to be leaving leaflets and dirty in the town. You're actually saying that the leaflet that's coming in the door.
It's not even the code, Bernie. What it is the flyer comes in the door, and they'll say, we're in your area on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever, and for you to leave the bag outside the door. But when you look through that and check it out, they are not illegal. They're not legally registered as a charity. So what these people are doing is they're going around the country and they're collecting clothes and everything. What they don't want then, they'll discard over walls. You'll see bogs. Farmers who have been, I've seen it in the council where farmers have contacted the council to say they've woke up and they've gone into a field that might be down a small road, and there they are, bags of clothes thrown over walls. So they're reporting this to the council because it's waste. The council then, it's littering. So the council, somebody has to pay to get it collected. So they are not a registered company. So if people want to dispose of clothes or whatever, in Roscommon town itself, we have a good few. We have at least 4 charity shops. And I mean, they're only delighted to get your clothes. So that one is very simple, because that is fraud at the end of the day. Your clothes and your furniture could be going to a charity, sold on, and the money will go to a charity. Whereas with the bogus collectors, they'll discard it, and that's waste.
And I suppose, as you said there, they're discarding some of it and probably selling off the other, anything that's good, and
keeping the money. So that's it. And you think, that's illegal. So like I say, always check it out. And you can go in on site, you can go in online and check out, are they a registered charity? Now, when that has happened, I have notified the guards, and I've notified the council, and we've notified Shannonside Radio. And actually, on one occasion, we waited and saw where the van was, and they were caught. Because you see, they'll say they'll be in town on the Tuesday.
That's why
so then we went to the council and said, well, look, this van is doing the rounds, so they were caught. So actually, as I'm saying it now, I haven't had a flyer in the door in a long time.
Okay.
So maybe we might have given the people the heads up and turned off.
Okay. I suppose another scenario you were telling me about when we were talking about our upcoming chat there the other day was about the Dear Dad text.
For God, I mean the Dear Dad text to say that you're getting a text, you've lost your phone, and that you need money immediately to send.
And you've talked to people.
Oh yeah, and I mean they don't even think, because immediately you go into protective mode, you know, for your child or whatever. But I mean, really and truly, like as a family, we should be, you know, talking about it and saying, if anything ever happens, this is the way you need to go. You know, maybe have a code or have something, but certainly not sending the text, because people, you do go in, the first instinct is, my God, somebody is in trouble, your daughter or whatever. And of course, we'll all go out of the way to help.
And especially it's coming from an unknown number. In your contact.
Yes, absolutely. And even the other day now, I got a text message from Customs to tell me that there is money due on a parcel. And I didn't clear it now yet, but I'm going to put it into my...
And you're...
Well, no, I'm not. And even as it happened, Bernie, 2 years ago, my brother was expecting a parcel and he wasn't sure how to work it from a company, a reputable company. And he rang me and he says, Kathleen, he said, I'm very nervous about paying this money because I am not sure, because he was expecting a parcel from England. And I said, well, as it happens, Marta said, the company is here in Roscommon, out the Lanesborough Road. I'll go down. So I said, hold on, I said, don't pay anything. So I went into the place and I said, can you clarify? And they said, yeah, he does, and they were able to give me everything. Okay. So I ended up paying for it there and then. That turned
out to be okay.
But I said to Mort, well, fair play to you. Jeez, he said, I'd be terrified, he said, because he was listening. But he did, I said, fair play to you, you did check it out. But that was just him. But people, Bernie, you need to stop and think. And don't do it in haste. Wait for a while, you know. And if you are expecting a package, have the details of the company. And if you have to ring the company or email them and ask them, make the phone call. Double check, absolutely.
Makes all the difference. I suppose I'm trying to think of all the things you told me the last day we were talking. You were telling me as well about somebody that was affected by a bogus email.
Yeah, absolutely. Like getting an email and checking it. And the man himself was telling me that he was reading through his emails while he was watching the television one evening, and just something came up about to click on a website to go in for information, whatever. And he did it, but he wasn't. He said he was watching the television, and like we often do, we're there, maybe you're not tuned into the programme, whatever. But it was the fact that he clicked on it. But then...
You were telling me this person was a colleague of yours.
A colleague of mine.
About an elderly person.
Just clicked on it. And as he said himself, he would be tuned in, but he just wasn't paying attention. Because he was relaxed, he was on the couch, he went in. But as it happened, it was through the work, that it was a work email, and that all the people in it was through his work emails.
It was a phishing email.
It was a phishing email, and he was caught. But it showed the company were trying to cut down on the amount of bogus emails that were sent in, and that people are work. So everybody was sent the email, and he was the one. So he got a black mark against himself. Okay. But I mean, I'm smiling at because he was embarrassed. But when he said it in the workplace, he just said, I was embarrassed to get caught out, but look, I just want you to know this is how simple it can happen. And like what was really frightening really is the fact that if that had to be a genuine scam and phishing, it would have corrupted the whole, the business itself. So like it would have infiltrated. And the thing is, it's as he said himself, he was casually reading, watching the telly. So, you know, we need to stop. I keep saying it, pause for a few minutes before you click.
Makes all the difference.
Makes all the difference, yeah, for sure.
And I suppose I'm trying to think now of, you came to me with so many different areas when I asked
thankfully, we're free parking in Roscommon, and thankfully. But even in places, Bernie, like I carry a bag of coins in the car with me now. I have them in the door. I actually paid for a fella's car parking the other day in Athlone.
Not surprised.
It was very funny. He was fumbling around, and I had the bag of coins, and I said, how much do you need? You know, and he thought this, to see money in a money bag.
But you're lucky if you have a meter that will take a coin.
That'll take
it's
the coins.
It's digital.
Digital, like, be careful where you scan. I mean, people, I often wonder, Bernie, like, these people that are so highly intelligent, why don't they get a proper job in an IT place that would actually give them a genuine wage, that they can come up with a scan that if you use the barcode and paid, so it's not you're not genuinely paying for your, when you scan and you think you've paid your parking fee, you haven't. It's a scan, so there you are, giving all your details into this.
I know, and I suppose the thing I've heard of that one now as well, and it's a relatively, you know, it's common enough at the moment, the parking and scanning the QR code, which is directing you to a fraudulent website. But I suppose the thing there, going back using your words, pause and think, check the URL, check the website that you're brought to, make sure it's matching what's on the parking meter. And
I mean, now we have, with our phones, you can take the photograph if it's at the side of the machine, because I'm not one, you know the way to remember. Even if you go to the side of and take a photograph of it and come around to the side, and then you can check, you can correspond to see, is it genuine? But if it's not, I feel you should contact the local authority and inform them that this is on the parking meter, because they need, if somebody doesn't shout and say, look it, you know, people need to be told that this scam is on the go.
But I suppose some people, Kathleen, in that case, mightn't even know that they have
it, Bernie,
you know, it could be afterwards that they get an alert. And
that's it. And you know what I heard is that...
Or worse still, clamped for not paying the parking
fee. Not paying it. Or else your money your money would be taken and nothing might be done with out of your account until a couple of weeks later. And then you're trying to recall, where did I do or give my card or do something? But again, even giving your card, you know, when you tap your card, like well now, I have to say I usually carry cash as well. As to say, cash is king and you can't beat it. But you know, even check when you're swiping your card that you did give the correct amount and things. You just don't know when you're paying in at the shop and you're, again, back to the basics, hide the number. You know that when you are paying in, like where some people are, I'd be surprised how lax people are, that they're, you know, and when you're under 50, you can tap, which is grand. But you see people now, and you know, people that can read to see, and then your car could be skimmed and. I don't know.
It's been absolutely amazing having you.
And thank you, Bernie.
I'd rather we talk about a different subject than fraud. It was great to have you come in and just tell us about some of the experiences that you've had out in the community, because definitely you're one that's in the community every day. If you're not pulling weeds, you know, helping the tidy towns.
Well, it's team effort,
you're going into the council offices, fighting the case still for someone else in the community.
I do sometimes, but look, Bernie, it's a team effort there, and the credit union, like you say, it's all great in the community. You know that people are out, and even to have this to go out into the community, that's what it's about. But as I say, pause before you click, isn't that it?
That's Kathleen's final words, pause before you think. Kathleen, thank you so much for coming into us this morning.
No problem. Thank you.